What's up everybody and welcome back to another video. Merry Christmas to everybody who celebrates it. I am currently up at my in-laws house celebrating Christmas here, and I got a stocking Christmas morning, and I got a few camera related accessories for my smartphone that I'm going to take a look at real quick with you guys here today. Alright, I got three different things. The first one is the Glo Lens, the Fashionate Glo Lens. It's a wide-angle illuminating cell phone lens to take your selfies to the next level. So basically what this is, it's a clip-on wide-angle lens, which you guys have probably seen before, but this one has lights all around it, so it lights your face up so you can take selfies, studio quality selfies, even in dark situations. So opening up this thing, you've got the lens itself, a charging cable because it does have a battery built in to power the LEDs, and you get a little carrying pouch so you don't scuff this fine piece of equipment up when it's riding around in your purse, pocket, car, whatever. I have to be honest with you, I had really low expectations for this thing, but I was actually really shocked at how well this thing performs. Putting it on the smartphone, it does give you a slightly wider field of view, but not crazy fisheye or ultra wide angle. Just a little bit wider than what you're used to get a little bit more in, make it a little bit more comfortable to take selfies without you having to hold it as far away as possible. The lighting worked just fine. It lit you up, and there was nothing wrong with the lights. They just did their job and they did them well. There's three different brightness modes, so you can pick depending on whatever lighting situation you have around you, whether it's brighter already and you need a brighter light to make you stand out, or if it's dark and you don't want to blind yourself while trying to look into this little ring of fire. Really, one of the most amazing things about it though is that it actually has less facial distortion with the lens on than with it off. If you notice here on the Galaxy Note 9, actually brand new phone, like my chin gets all stretched out when it gets close to the bottom and my head gets stretched up when it gets close to the top. This lens here seems to mitigate all that, and I couldn't really find some obvious distortion. So this here, it gets a big thumbs up actually, because it does everything you want a selfie camera to do. And yeah, this one gets a gold star. Moving on to the next thing, this is a 3-in-1 lens kit, which, again, low expectations going into this, because it was just $8. Not much stuff in the way of optics go very well for less than $10. But I was impressed by the selfie light. Let's see how this one turns out. Opening it up, you get three different lenses. You get a fisheye, a wide angle, as well as a macro lens. They all screw together onto this single clip that comes with it that clips onto your phone. This also comes with a carrying pouch, so you can carry it around without damaging it. It does feel like very, very cheap plastic though. What did you really expect for $7? Clipping it onto the phone, it just barely reaches the camera location for the Note 9. It's absolutely bottomed out on that clip, but that really shouldn't be a problem. Most phones aren't this big. The macro mode allows you to focus super close, and significantly closer than what Samsung allows you to focus on typically with their standard camera setup. But it does give you such a paper-thin, shallow depth of field, and if you get outside of that at all, it gets kind of hazy and streaky, and it doesn't look right. You may want to use this if you're looking for the absolute up-close shots, and try and be as parallel as possible to it, because if you're on an angle or anything like that, it starts looking kind of rough. The wide-angle lens does okay. It was probably the best balance of image quality to doing what it says it's supposed to do. Widens your field of view pretty significantly this time, unlike the selfie camera lens here, but keeps it within reason. You get a large field of view, relatively sharp images, nothing spectacular, and not even close to what the camera can provide just with its standard built-in lens, but it was okay. Then there's the fisheye mode, which pretty much everything's out of focus in the fisheye mode. You get a ludicrously wide field of view, so much so that it leaves a circle image instead of a square that you're used to, but it was just okay at best. I don't know if anybody should ever use this fisheye lens, because it's just not good. Moving on to last but not least, probably least, this is I think was my least favorite of the three, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So what this is a attachment for your cell phone. It's got a clamp, holds your phone, and then it's got this Catapult connected to it. And it's for throwing treats, or no, it's for holding treats while you take a picture of your dog. So your dog's supposed to look at this, you got its focus, take his picture, and then he gets rewarded with the treat you throw at him. So I tried this with Sergeant, and he liked looking at just the green dot more than anything, and that's when I got the best picture of him, which was kind of odd. So then I decided to try launching treats at him, and well, he cowered in fear and ran away, and it was a good time, but I kept throwing some treats at him because it was funny to watch. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend purchasing this, because you can operate a phone with one hand and hold a treat and then throw it at your dog if you want to. You could probably toss it a little bit more gently if you were using your hands, as opposed to cranking back on this spring-loaded thing and smacking them in the nose with it. So there are I have to admit, I went into this, all three of these, with extremely low expectations. I was blown away by this thing. This is great. Go check this out. I'm going to see if I can't find it on Amazon, and I'll link it down below. This one here, kind of a dime a dozen. You see these things everywhere advertised on Instagram or Facebook, or just on Amazon in general, for photography accessories, and it's just okay. If you need a wide angle lens, that might be the only one I'd use, or if you really need some macro shots and the much sharper close focus of your standard camera isn't good enough, this will let you get right up on it. This one here, just hold your treats and throw them at your dog yourself. It doesn't really do anything for you. So hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, hit that like button, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any more content, and we'll see you in the next one.